Viewers and subscribers, welcome once again to Think Tank. Now, in this Nigeria, this is the country where things happen that you can be wowed about. You can imagine where we have about 800,000 liters of crude oil. While some of us are busy sleeping and crying for the absence of funds, people are busy fetching the crude oil for free and going to sell it for a huge amount of money in countries nearby to Nigeria. Now, information reaching us has it that Tompolo, who was given this pipeline surveillance contract by NNPC, has just arrested a vessel loaded with 800,000 liters of crude oil and leaving the shores of Nigeria. For goodness sake, where was the military when this vessel came through the territorial waterways of Nigeria? Where was the military when this vessel began to fetch the crude oil from the pipeline? And on their way out, that is when you have Tompolo's boys going to arrest it. Could we say that Asari Dokubo was right after all when he said that for every crude oil that is being stolen from Nigeria, the military has a hand in it? Because you can begin to imagine how a private security company that doesn't have the equipment and every other thing can go. I think I should just leave it at this point, but do well to listen and watch for yourself what's going on in the video. I'll be back to wrap up the video. My name is Moses. Wow, you can see it. So it's a private security company that's the one owned by Tompolo that intercepted this vessel, like you can see. Now, they said it's an information that got to the private security company, which was engaged by NNPC. Now, Tantita is actually the private security company name that arrested this vessel, and it was arrested on the 7th of July 2023. This private security guard is owned by Tompolo. Now, the vessel name is MT Tura 2. It has an IMO number of 6620462 and is owned by a Nigerian company by name Wahala Maritime Services Limited, and has an ROC number of ROC 813311. It means that this company was actually registered in Nigeria, and the crude oil was leaving and heading to Cameroon. Wow, when it was apprehended offshore. This is amazing indeed. Now, the vessel had its captain and the crew members completely on board, and preliminary investigation revealed that the crude oil cargo on board was illegally sourced from around the Ondo State axis of the waterways. On its way, there was no valid documentation to this vessel or the crude oil on board as at the time it was arrested. Just imagine. Now, 800,000 liters of crude oil leaving the shores of Nigeria. It means that they had already finished the loading. They had come in successfully, they have loaded successfully, and they are already on their way. This is obviously millions of dollars. Just imagine. Now, further investigation on this issue reveals that the last reported location of this vessel was Tinkan Port in July 2011. Now, people are saying that destroying vessels involved in transporting stolen crude oil is of paramount importance as a strong deterrent, so that people who will see such things will learn not to release their vessels for crude oil theft anymore. Now, NNPC has also assured that they will sustain the momentum in the war against crude oil theft, which was signed by one of the corporate communications officers. Now, the truth is that crude oil theft cannot be encouraged in any way. I cannot encourage in any way, but we must do well to begin to go back to the root cause of all these things. Beyond the fact that we all do not support it, what is the root cause of all these things? The resources of the crude oil that is assessed by Nigerian government must be used judiciously. People need to see it. People need to come out of poverty, because obviously lack of information and poverty is what causes majority of these things. People need to be educated. People need to be informed to know the implications of this thing to national development. But obviously, when they do not believe that there's any interest for the national development, people begin to think of sourcing for themselves. You've seen it, right? So this is exactly what we're saying. This is what we see in this country. So amazing indeed. 800,000 liters of crude oil. When you go back to begin to multiply it, you know the amount of money that people get for free of charge, while some other people are complaining for the lack of funds. Nigerian Navy, this is your duty. It's amazing how these vessels can come into Nigerian waterways, and it's actually owned by, like you heard, it's actually owned by a private company, loaded the crew and every other member of this is organized crime. Obviously, it's organized crime, and our Nigerian Navy must step up to do the needful. Do well to hit the comment section and let's know what your thought is about this whole crude oil theft. Do well to also hit the subscribe button if you're new to our station, and we're going to be continually here to serve you. My name is Moses.